Hey everybody, welcome to the guitar play-along video of Hang On Sloopy by the McCoys, one of the classic rock songs of all time. We're going to keep things simple here in this guitar play-along video. Here's what it's going to sound like. Okay, nice and simple, at least to start off. What we're talking about is 2 down strums on G chords, 2 down strums on C, 2 down strums on D, and finally 2 more down strums on C. Again, here's what it's going to sound like. Now, this video is intended for beginning guitar players. It's a chance for you to work on your G and C and D chords. Chords you just can't live without on the guitar. Now, if you've got these chords mastered and this seems really easy to you, check out the information below. Check out some of my other videos. I've got a lot of videos. I hope you like them. Please subscribe. Now, if you're just starting off, this is a great chance to get good at G and C and D. And in a minute, I'm going to show you a trick on the G chord, okay? And encourage you to practice G a certain kind of way, especially for this song. Now, here's the idea. Go to iTunes, download the song, the original song here, Hang On Sloopy by the McCoys. And these are the skills you need to play along with that song, okay? All the way through. You don't need any other chords besides G, C, and D. Now, if you're ready to play with me, let's do it a few more times together, and then we'll talk about some details. 2, 3, 4. Now, if you're like a lot of guitar players, at first, as a beginner, those transitions can be tough, right? Hopefully the chords sound pretty good, nice and clear and ringing, but I've taught guitar for a lot of years, and a lot of my beginning students really have a hard time changing quickly from chord to chord. Maybe that's you. Check out my other videos. I have a good video on changing chords faster, and I'm going to talk about one of those points right now. If you're having a hard time changing from G to C, let me give you a tip. And actually this applies for changing from the C at the end back to the G. If you're looking carefully, you might have noticed that I'm fingering the G chord with my ring finger on the fattest string, middle finger on the 5th string 2nd fret, and pinky on the skinny string. I'm not using my index finger. Now that's going to be significant, and here's why. When it's time to play this chord, you want to have your index finger free, because after the G comes the C chord. And check this out. My ring and my middle are going to move downward 1 string each, and my index finger is waiting right there, and there's my complete C chord. I'll do that again. Okay, here's my G, middle ring, and pinky, and then time to go to the C. My middle and ring drop down 1 string. It's a subtle little movement, and my index finger is right there for the C. The reverse is going to be true at the end of our sequence. And remember, this is the only sequence for this song. At the end of the sequence, when it goes from C back to G, middle and ring moves up to the 2 fat strings. See how subtle that was, how easy that was? And pinky comes down. Now, I'll be honest with you, a lot of people have trouble with this G in the beginning. Think about it, we're sacrificing your most confident finger. Your left hand index finger is probably the most confident one on that hand. And now I'm asking you to not use that finger for G, and instead use one of our weaker fingers, the pinky. In the long run, though, you're going to be happy that you have this type of G as one of the tools in your tool belt. If you've played G with index, middle, and ring, which is the absolute most common way of learning G in the beginning, that's great. For this particular song, I highly encourage you to master G with this alternative fingering, okay? Because there's so many songs out there that involve C going to G or G going to C, and it's going to make your life so much easier. It's going to take a little more practice, believe me, I know it. It's going to take a little more practice, but you won't regret that, okay? Again, we're talking about the alternative fingering of G. Ring finger, fat string, middle finger, 5th string, 2nd fret, pinky on the skinny string. Okay, now in a minute I'm going to show you a rhythmic variation on this strumming, but let's play it again one more time here, using just nice down strums. We're playing quarter notes. Quarter notes on the G chord, the C chord, the D chord, okay? Quarter notes meaning we're playing right on the beat. G, C, D, C, a little bit faster, G to C to D to C. right hand simple for a reason. I want you to give all your attention to your left hand. In fact, hopefully you're not even looking at your right hand. Trust me, it's better to give your attention to your left hand for songs like this, especially when you're starting off on the guitar. Now, to make it sound more like the real song, Hang On Sloopy, check out this rhythmic difference here. I'm still playing the same sequence, but you'll hear the difference. And this is going to put you much more into an authentic feel for Hang On Sloopy. Check this out. Okay, so what's the difference? Well, check it out. I'm still strumming G twice, but I'm putting a little space in between. Watch this. I'm going to verbalize this as I play it. G, G, C, C, D, D, C. I'll say it without the guitar. G, G, C, C, D, D, C, C, G. Okay, so the spacing is a little different, but it's going to sound a lot more like Hang On Sloopy. The reason I save this for the end of this short little video here is because for a lot of you out there, simply changing chords itself is the challenge. And remember, we're using this song as a vehicle to get better at changing chords and to memorize these chords, right? But for those of you who feel like you're making progress with the left hand changing, that's when this right hand rhythm can come in. Okay, so you know what your homework is. Go to iTunes, get that video, Hang On Sloopy by the McCoys. You want to get their original version, okay? And have fun playing along with the tune. Bang out those chords. What you're going to find is you're going to be using those chords for a million songs in the future, okay? And the time you spend with Hang On Sloopy is going to be time well spent. Now, thanks for watching. Check out the information below. Okay, I've got a lot of other videos, guitar play-along videos, but also more instructional videos, a little bit longer, a little bit more in-depth. Check them all out. Please subscribe if you haven't already. And thanks for watching, everybody.